Hey guys, what's up? Let's see. You guys hear me okay? Dislike? You guys disliking my video? It doesn't show me that. It only shows me likes. All right. Well, we're shelling corn tonight. Hopefully, I think I've got better service here than normal. Oh yeah, full 4G, all the bars. That's good. So I should have good service. You should get decent quality, and you should be able to hear me fine, and shouldn't cut out on me at all. But we'll see. We are shelling corn. We just finished this field that is behind me, or that we're sitting in, and we've got a little lane right here that we're jumping across. Dad's opening up some end rows right now, so I'm kind of waiting for him to get back here, and we'll keep going. Yeah, thanks for joining there from Germany for a minute. I know it's super late there. I appreciate you checking in, and thanks for the congratulations. Yeah, hard to believe it's been a whole year already. Last year was the first day that I made a video. Had no idea where this was going to go when I did that, or that I would be making daily videos. That was not the plan from the start. It's just kind of how it happened, and hey, I enjoy it. It's been fun. This has gone farther and gotten bigger than I thought it would, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen to it in the next year or longer, or however long I decide to do this. It's still fun, so I'll keep doing it for now. So, all right, let's see. Where are we at? Hi from Ontario. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Can't believe it's been a year already. Yeah, neither can I. It's hard to believe, but we've made a lot of videos. It was 264 videos. I don't know what number was today's. 260 something in 366 days. That's a lot. How much do you got to do in combining it this year? How much do you got to do in combining it this year? All right, I assume you're asking me how much we've got left. We just started corn harvest yesterday. We've got a long ways to go yet. We are probably half-ish done with our harvest in general. We had a few more acres of corn than beans this year, but we got a long ways to go on corn, so it's gonna be a few weeks yet before we're done with harvest. Wasn't there 6 inches of snow this time last year? Not quite, but that's a pretty good memory. So when we were shelling our corn in Berkey last year, there was a bunch of snow. I don't know if we quite had 6 inches, but we had a bunch. We had more snow the first week in November last year than we had all the rest of the winter. And that kind of shows you how much earlier we're getting stuff done down here this year than we were last year. We're a good 4 weeks ahead of last year's pace. So that's a good thing. Yeah, definitely drastically different year and harvest conditions in 2020 than it was in 2019. And I'm not complaining, because this year has been much nicer. Watching not far from you in Sandusky. So, yeah, Sandusky's not too far, especially from where we're at now. Lunch. What's your favorite way to eat corn? Well, probably is high fructose corn syrup, to be honest. It's pretty good stuff in my Dr. Pepper. Yep, right here. No, sweet corn. Corn on the cob, it's good, right? Birmingham, Alabama, checking in. Very cool idea for a giveaway. Okay, you can find my email in the description of any videos if that's something you want to send me an email about, or any of the Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, whatever. Higher fields looking so far. Moisture still below 50%. So, moisture is still pretty good. We did get into a different variety here just a little bit ago. There was just a few rows in this field behind me, and most of what we're doing across the lane here. It's jumped up a little bit in moisture, but we're still running like 17s, 16, 17, something like that. So pretty dry. There's a truck. Phil's back. But anyway, so yeah, it's still dry. We are probably going to start running some stuff through the dryer though, because we don't like to put anything in the bin if it's over 17 or 18%. And the other field that I have over that way, across the road, that's 108-day corn. The stuff we're in now is 106-day, which means it's probably going to be just a little bit wetter. Don't mess with the phone. Chain screws everything up. And so we'll need to dry it anyway. So that's kind of where we're at. The yield so far is not good. Pretty darn crappy. I thought yesterday's field was going to be the worst we had. I was wrong. This field that we finished over here was worse. It's too early to tell how this other one's going to be because Dad's still doing end rows. So we'll see here in a little bit. But I'm hoping our corn at Waldron is going to be much better than this because this stuff is tough. I live in Alberta. It's raining here right now. We had a little bit of rain last night. We had about 1/4 of an inch blow through right when we were finishing up last night. Didn't slow us down really at all. In fact, if you would go out and walk these fields right now, I'm not sure you would be able to tell it rained yesterday. But that just shows you how dry we are right now. Let's see if Dad puts his auger out. I thought he was going to want to dump here, but maybe not. Okay, I guess I'll wait. Warsaw, Indiana. I have been there. That's not too far. Do you follow Millennial Farmer? Yes, I do. And I've seen his X9, and it's awesome. Not that I would get one, but it would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty dang cool to run. Now, we couldn't keep the corn away from that thing after it ran for 15 minutes. So, I don't know how good it would do us, but it is still pretty awesome, cool machine. Do we have permission to shout out young startup YouTube farmers? Yeah, sure. Go right ahead. And I'm still a young startup YouTuber, so shout me out on other channels too.
Hey, Nathan.
Yeah.
How much of this truck is from Southwood?
Slightly over half.
Okay.
I've got the weights, the green cart, but yeah, it was a little over half from south and then the rest from here, and it's a little light. It's only like 55,000.
Okay. I just wanted to know roughly how much from south.
All right. You started drying corn yet? Just started drying tonight. I haven't even been back to the farm since Phil started the dryers up. Done with beans? Yes, we finished beans Saturday night, which is good. And so we switched to corn yesterday. We got started here on corn after we fixed the combine on, yesterday morning, tore it apart Sunday there. So, yep, good to be done with beans. It's the earliest I can remember being done with beans in quite a long time. In fact, last year we started harvesting beans on October 8th. This year we finished on October 10th. Crazy. Never heard of a crop of tomatoes that's gone past the last week of August in Lenawee County this year. Hard to sell it. Yeah. In fact, just this morning I had a guy that we work with on some stuff, chemical side of stuff, that his family grows tomatoes down in Putnam County in Ohio, and he said they're still harvesting tomatoes, and said they're hoping to be done by Friday. But yeah, I know the tomatoes are super late this year, so they said it was a really good crop though, so that's got to be part of it. Will you be able to get that high-speed NH bar since you had good yields? Does anyone else make anything similar that wouldn't require you to remove the quick hitch? We haven't talked about stuff too much yet. Our bean yields were pretty good, so it does open up some possibility of upgrading some equipment, but we really haven't decided anything yet. I'm not going to get ahead of myself as far as announcements on whether or not we're going to buy anything, because it may or may not happen at this point, but there are some ideas being thrown around. Whether it's anhydrous bar or something else, I don't know yet, but I certainly would. That's about the top of my list of things to upgrade. So hopefully, usually what happens is we get to this time of year, we see how our crops are, we see what kind of yields and prices and everything, and then we kind of make some decisions as far as what we need to buy. And a lot of times we'll try and get something before the first of the year for tax purposes and stuff. So in the next 2 to 3 months, you'll see whether or not we're going to buy stuff, I would assume. Hi from Bowling Green. Welcome. Yeah, you're close. Did you see the guy that had a header come off while moving fields? Yeah, I did see that. Matt Griggs down in Tennessee there. Yeah, crazy. It's unbelievable some of the stuff that people have happened to them, survive, go through. Yeah, he's one lucky dude, that's for sure. So, what's your opinion on virtual grain bins? Cost estimate. I don't know what you mean by virtual grain bins, Jeff. You mean like a monitoring system for grain bins? Let me know. When you're getting on and off the field with tractors and other equipment, do you try to take the same path for compaction reasons? Generally. So we have a nice setup with our equipment that our planters are 40 foot wide, our bean head is 40 foot wide, our sprayer is 120 foot wide, so it straddles 3 planter passes. So we're kind of driving the same tracks all the time. The corn head is only 20 foot wide, so it kind of doubles those up, but it's still the same tracks that the tractor and the planter make in the spring. And when I'm running the grain cart and stuff, I try and take the same path over a lot of times to eliminate some of that just spread compaction out all over the place. It's much better to keep it concentrated as much as possible. So yes, I do. Well, Dad just made 2 rounds on these ends. That's not a good sign. Evening, cutting corn in Illinois. Cool. Well, the irrigated corn will be much better. The irrigated corn will probably yield double what this stuff is, if not more than double. So yes, it will be much better. The question is, what's the rest of our non-irrigated corn at Waldron going to do compared to this stuff at Berge? We were much drier here all summer. I did not expect great things. I was hoping for better than what we're getting, but it is what it is. Looks like almost a guaranteed crop insurance claim here, so. Oh well. 900,000 for the X9, yeah, I'm aware. Higher test weight corn equal more money from the elevator. No, and I'll argue this all night. It does not, unless you're talking higher than 54. So we get docked if our corn is below 54 pound test weight. Anything above that, I don't care what it is, I care how much it yields. Test weight does not equal bushels. Someday I will take the time to interview or to explain this in one of my videos, but it is a very touchy and difficult to explain concept. I watched every one of your videos. Dude, that's impressive. I don't know how anybody could have watched all of them. Years going by fast, and your corn selling for $3.34 a bushel. Can you make money at that price? Well, price is only part of the equation, right? So we got to factor in yields as well. And at $3.34 a bushel, can we make money? Well, if our yields are high enough. The yields that we're getting here, no, we cannot. And actually, I think we can get a little better than $3.34. I think I saw it closer to $3.50 the other day, but still not great prices for corn right now. Beans, on the other hand, the bean prices come up drastically in the last month. We can get good money selling beans, and we did, cashing out the extra beans that we had this year from our higher yields. So, you know, it is what it is, but it would be nice to see the corn price come up a little bit. It is amazing how light my camera makes it look when it's not that light out. Like, it's getting dark. I did win the light game. I don't know if you guys saw Dad unloading there. No, you didn't. But he's got his lights on, so I won. Oh, what are we gonna do here? I've got. Show you. I don't want to show you because I'll screw up my camera now. Right now. I've got a corn plot up here right in front of us that we're kind of trying to open up and work around, and it doesn't go the entire length of the field. So there's end rows halfway through the field at the back side of the plot. We kind of got to get all that opened up. It's kind of it's a challenge at the moment. We'll get there. I'm going to wait here for a minute and see where he goes. Good luck with the rest of the year. Thank you. Check out Erin Holbert for a good laugh. She's just starting out. Cool. Is it even profitable to run a dryer at $3 a bushel? Well, yeah, you have to run a dryer. We can't store corn that's wetter than 17 or 18%, so whether it's profitable or not is irrelevant. The corn will go bad and out of condition if you don't run it through the dryer and it's too wet. So yeah, that's not an optional thing. If you haul it into town wet, you're gonna get docked like crazy. So that's not really an option either. So yeah, it's worth it. Favorite part of harvest, like harvest mornings or harvest nights? As far as morning versus night, doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me. I kind of enjoy working with the lights on. It's always fun for me when we get towards the end of harvest and it's cool, and especially if we make it after that time change and it gets dark at 5:30 at night and we get to work for a long time in the lights in the dark. I do enjoy that. Ever thought about installing center pivot irrigation? Dude, every single day this summer I thought about installing center pivot irrigation when I was working with that dang traveling gun. It is something I would really like to do, but it is pretty expensive, and when we don't have to have irrigation, it's hard to do that. Now, what I'm hoping is that when we get up to that irrigated field and I can prove what we can do with irrigation, it makes it a lot easier to make that investment on some other fields and acres and stuff. So it's crossed my mind. Glad to see another live stream. Yeah, thanks. Glad you could make it, Al. Some here. You watch Clark Farms? I have not watched Clark Farms. What I'm finding here is that there are so many ag YouTubers, people doing what I am doing. It's hard to watch them all. You'll never watch them all. So you kind of find the ones that fit your style and what you like to see and watch them. And I try and check out different ones all the time and stuff. But there's a couple that I watch pretty much every video they put out, and I'm sure that it's the same for you guys. And I hope people find value in what I'm doing. I try and be a little bit different with the detail in the daily videos and stuff. But in my opinion, the more voices that agriculture has and the more we can put stuff out there, the better. So it doesn't bother me one bit that lots of people are doing this. Not yet. I'll turn that on later. I always kind of wonder what people like Zach and Welkers and Ryan from How Farms Work, the guys that were first, that have the biggest followings, and what they think when a bunch of little other farmers and stuff start making videos. And I do okay. I've got 13,000 subscribers, get 5,000-6,000 views on a video normally. I'm happy with that. I'd like to see it keep growing, but I just kind of wonder what these other guys think of everybody kind of copying them. I try not to be copying, but let's be honest, they're all the same style of stuff, right? How many acres of corn do you guys have? UP, nice. We've got roughly 1,500 acres of corn this year. We had a little bit more than normal this year just because of rotational stuff from last year. We had 200 bushel corn. Nice, that's good. I'm hoping we have some, but we don't here. How much are you getting for personal at the elevator, per bushel at the elevator for your corn? We have not hauled, we did haul some corn in, but our corn was all contracted that we hauled in already. So I don't know what the cash price there is locally. I want to say it's in that $3.50 a bushel range. I could look it up, but I'm on my phone. 8 or 12 row. We run an 8 row corn head. Our machine could easily handle a 12 row. Would not be much trouble at all. Hey, do you need me down there to dump?
At 37.
Okay, no. Ouch. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move them. So he's gonna have to dump on this end. Gonna have to turn my lights on pretty quick. It's getting dark. Anyway, most of the rest of the corn that we have down here at Berkey, I think that in fact all of it, will fit in our bins. So we're not probably going to cash any out here this fall because we won't need to. Unless prices go way up for some reason we'll want to, but. Alright, I'm caving. Okay, I'm gonna sit right here. Did you tell Dad that he was playing the light game tonight? I did not tell him. He has no idea about the light game, but he still lost. It's more fun and easier to win when the people you're playing against don't know. And there's no neighbors around. The other night when we were combining beans, is that Friday night? I could have seen 5 or 6 other people working in the fields, either combining or doing tillage, and Yesterday and today, there's been none. I don't know if everybody's done all of a sudden, we're the last ones or what, but I don't have any competition. So those bearings that just went out on the combine, were those sealed? They're serviceable. Those were sealed bearings. They were not greasable, and really only one of them was bad. I replaced all three because we had it apart and it was easy to do at the time. But yeah, it was a sealed bearing. And look, I know John Deere is getting a lot of flack on my channel for bearings going out on stuff. And the disc ripper was a whole different thing. I'm pretty upset about that too. I'm not that upset about that bearing going out on the combine. It's not a big deal. Our combine is 7 years old and has 2,300 hours on it. Bearings wear out, they're going to go out. I would much rather have a non-serviceable sealed bearing that lasts for 7 years than one I have to grease every day. It's just my opinion. I don't want to have to do that daily maintenance. And so if I can have some 50-hour grease zerks and some annual ones in our situation, fine. But I don't want daily or grease zerks that require a ton of maintenance all the time, because it won't get done is what'll happen. Pivots also require a lot of maintenance. Yeah, but they are not near as much work as my traveling gun, and I'll stand by that all day. Could you explain your corn acreage? I think you said you have 1,200 acres this year from 600 in 2019. Do you decide every year what is the most corn acres usually grow? Yeah, so I can't explain that. We actually have about 1,200 acres of soybeans this year, closer to 1,500 of corn. And the reason that we only had 600 last year was because we were so wet in the spring we couldn't get stuff planted. And so we ended up taking a prevent plant insurance payment on a substantial amount of our corn acres, and we only got 600 acres planted. We didn't start planting last year until June 4th, and there was only 2 days that I was able to plant corn, June 4th and June 8th. Our cutoff for planting it under full insurance coverage is June 5th, and so after that date, they allow us to take what they call prevent plant, and they'll basically pay us to not plant the crop, because the crop insurance companies figure there is more risk in us planting a crop late than them paying us part of our guarantee to just not plant anything at all. And so that was the discrepancy in the acres. Usually we keep about the same number of corn and bean acres, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 acres apiece. Hello from Waldron. Well, that's close. Lots of farming channels, not as many as good as yours. Thanks, Al. This year is the first year I've had double crop green beans and double crop green beans. Nice. Thanks. I'm sure they'll never see it, so I felt comfortable saying it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Really do enjoy watching your videos. Don't think I missed a video from this year. That's awesome. It blows me away that people watch every single one of these. Now, I do know that there can only possibly be about 300 of you that have seen them all, because my worst video, it's like number 8, 15, something like that, from way back last fall. Or no, maybe it's number 3. I don't know. One of my very early ones that doesn't even have 500 views on it. So, you know, that's okay. It's funny to me how things progress throughout the year, because when I first started, I was like, oh, we got to get up to 100 views. And then it was, well, let's get to 500 views. And I have to go all the way back to, I think, December 17th or 16th to the last video that doesn't have at least 1,000 views, which to me just blows my mind. And now I'm disappointed if I don't get 5,000 in the first 2 days of a video. So it's kind of cool how it changes. I also wonder with them guys like Zach, who gets, 250,000 views on a video, does he still get disappointed? Like, if he normally gets 300,000 views, does he get disappointed if one only gets to 250? I don't know. Montville, Michigan. I'm not sure where Montville is at, and I know a lot of places in Michigan. Does the state tax you on water coming out of the St. Joe, or do they only need to know how much was used? They do not tax us. We only have to report usage. Over in Adrian. Oh, okay. You double crop green beans in Adrian? Interesting. I had no idea. Or do you mean just your soybeans are still green? Because I know there's a lot of double crop soybeans around, but I'm not real familiar with the veggie guys and that stuff. So that's cool. Here's Scott from Wilkers. Yes, I did. I did see that he was injured really bad, and hope he's doing better. I saw he was back at the farm here yesterday or something, so that's good. Oh, from Delaware. I have a lot of people that could disagree with you, Axe, saying that I'm very cool, but thanks, I appreciate it. Monroe, that's too close too. Brian on Brian's farming videos mentioned AGI, and he can manage his bins and dryer on his phone in real time. 3-year renderings, moisture temperature, best. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, is that what you were asking me about earlier on the virtual bins? Yeah, I saw his setup there. That's a pretty cool system. We don't have anything quite that advanced. We do have a couple of bins that have temperature cables in them that we can see temperature throughout the bin. Sorry, I gotta unload here. A little close. That's okay. What truck we got? It's the Columbia. So something like that would be kind of cool. I know he has talked about using it to re-wet soybeans or add moisture into these beans that are super dry. I don't want anything to do with that. While there is money to be made there, it's a risky game, because when beans gain moisture, they swell up and they can get packed into that bin so tight they won't come out. If they get too much pressure on them, they'll actually bow the sidewalls of the bin out, and they'll start bursting seams and stuff. And it scares me, so I don't want to do that. See that at all? Oh yeah, kind of. It's dusty. I can't see very good either. I'm afraid to ask Dad what this is yielding, because it's not good. Okay, now we can go catch him. Alright, now where are we at? Just found you last week. Well, welcome to the channel. I'll catch them. Yeah. It's yeah, you'd have to be pretty dedicated binge watching my videos to catch up if you just find me now. That's one thing that kind of concerns me a little bit sometimes about the way that I do things is I don't want this to be something where you have to have watched it from the beginning. Like, I want people to be able to join at any time and catch on to what's going on. So if there's ever anything that you guys are, you know, stuff like that where you don't understand what's going on because I've explained it before and I forget, call me out on it and I'll fix it. I don't want it to be boring and repetitive for everybody else, but I do want to make sure that everybody feels like they can join and watch and not be lost. Been here since the beginning. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna have to hold this because it's too rough. But if you're in that and you got ran over, what? I must have missed something there. Double crop green beans. Wow. Cool. In fact, I didn't even know there was green beans and snow peas in Lenawee County. So that's interesting. Is your dad in a better mood today? Slightly. Not great. Crappy crops will do that to you. It puts you in a bad mood, and I understand it. So it is what it is. Yeah. I did get somebody to buy us lunch today. We had a pretty good meal, so that was good. You'll see that tomorrow, kind of. I had to laugh at that yesterday. Yeah, brought back some memories from working with my dad years ago. Yep, we have those days. He's a little frustrated with obviously the crappy corn, and also our combines. I've been having this issue for a while, but for some reason the transmission and the hydro on our it's not really a hydrostat, it's ProDrive, but it surges sometimes like it's really annoying and it surges, and sometimes you can get it to level out, sometimes you can't very good. And yeah, that's been driving him crazy today. So I'm trying to figure out why it's doing it and what's doing it without calling a dealer to have a service call, because that'll be expensive, but it might have to happen yet. Or what if you go inside the machine and you got killed on YouTube or laser beam? You might know him. Well, I'm just kidding. Do you have anyone to keep the chisel going through corn? Chisel is not running right now. We're actually waiting on some lime to get spread on the rest of the bean fields, and so we really can't be chiseling at the moment anyway, so that's not a big deal. As soon as they get that done though, Dad will keep that moving, and either I'll just run the combine, because unfortunately we can make rounds here and I can just dump on the end like we did with soybeans, or I've got a friend of mine that works for us some when we need him, and he'll be around when we need him to be. So that's the plan there. Shelling corn, Southwest Indiana. I have no idea how far behind I am, guys, so I'm sorry, but I'll get caught up eventually. How's everything going? Going to finish up down there tonight. We're not going to finish here tonight. We're having a pretty good day. We've got to have close to 70 acres done, and it's only, what, 7:30? So we'll get a fair amount. I don't know if we'll quite get to 100 acres done tonight, but we should get close. And maybe we can finish it tomorrow. We've got another 67 acres across the road. There's 15 acres across that way, which would be what? 78? No, 83, 82. Plus the rest of this field, and there was 60 in this field that we were just opening up when I started it. So we'll see how far we get tonight. If we can get 30 acres or so done here tonight, it'd be possible to finish tomorrow. Kind of unlikely, but possible. So we'll see. I've got that plot that we've got to run tomorrow. That's going to kill some time, but it is what it is. Thanks, Eric. Don't forget that thumbs up. Montville is on M12 above Elkhart. Oh, okay. Yep. Here can't be too far from, well, you'd be west of Sturgis, I guess. Do you double crop any soybeans behind wheat, or does your growing season not allow for that? Some years we do. I like to double crop some soybeans, not behind all of our wheat, but occasionally we'll do a field or two if I can. We did not this year for two reasons. One, our wheat came out kind of late, and we would not have had enough growing season. Our wheat's got to be fairly early for that to work well. And two, with all the prevent plant ground that we had last year, we planted our wheat into that, and our weed pressure was higher. And so we had to use some different herbicides on our wheat this spring that would have prevented us from planting soybeans at that later date. It was the plant back interval was too long, so we couldn't do it. On Larson Farms in Minnesota, made one of their tracks break on their case. Oh, I missed a previous comment, I'll assume. That's okay. I did see that one of their track arms, frames, something broke. I don't think that was related to their grain cart. I think that's just something that happens every now and then, and rough ground, whatever, it happens. Things break. Yeah, anybody want to be a moderator? Let's see. Do you treat your seed before planting? I think that's what that read. I gotta go pull up. We do treat our seed. All of our seed is treated. The corn comes pre-treated from the company. The beans and the wheat I treat myself through my seed treater. I've made numerous videos on that, so if it's something you're interested in, you can see that. Soybeans all get treated with a fungicide and an insecticide. What's buzzing? Corn gets treated with a fungicide, an insecticide, and a nematicide, and our wheat mostly just with a fungicide. But yes, we do treat all of our seed. I know what you mean. Here. Thank you. How was the film crew? Yeah, so that was interesting. You'll see a little bit of it this morning. I couldn't really film myself being filmed, but I did have one of the guys stand there and take a little video for me. It was fine. Took a little time, but we had a good time with it. They asked me lots of questions. I have no idea where any of the data, the footage, the material that they got will be used, when it will be used, how it will be used. I don't know. It's advertising purposes. I gave them some good answers. I'm pretty good at talking when people ask me questions, so I did it. It was fine. But yeah, it'll be all right. They were pretty impatient with, they wanted to get some action footage of the combine out in the field and stuff, but we were opening up the field. We were just getting started, and I'm like, if you guys just be patient, give me half an hour to get this stuff opened up, we'll have some much better footage. But they were gone by then, so I don't know. Do you know? Brendan Brooks. I think you've done a great job keeping your videos interesting. I think people can join in at any time, understand what you're doing. Good. Today you said you were going to make today's video you said you were going to make some change. Not really going to change things. I'll talk about that. I'll try and talk about that in tomorrow's video as I'm wrapping it up. But what the heck, we can talk about some stuff now. So, I know I'm behind. I'm sorry, but let's talk about it. So, we've been making these videos for a year now, and so I've often wondered what happens when I've started making them for a year and I just start repeating everything. Are you guys going to keep watching, or are you going to go away? I'm pretty confident I'll still have people stick around, but I just kind of wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing over the next year, right? So yeah, it's going to be a lot of the same things. My job is very cyclical as far as the calendar goes and what we're doing and when, but you know, so obviously harvest is going to wrap up a lot earlier this year than it has in the past. What that does is give me much more time between fall harvest and spring planting, which is good. Hopefully we'll make it through our equipment a little bit faster. Our combine should not be near as big of a project this year because of how much work I did to it last year. But we didn't do anything to the corn head last year, and we're going to have to this winter. So that's going to be probably the first thing we do after harvest. But here's my big announcement. My wife and I, if you guys have followed and watched every video like you say, you have noticed that occasionally throughout the summer we've had some meetings that we've had to go to. And what those meetings have been for is we are in the designing and planning phases for building our new house. We are just about ready to sign a contract on that. And we plan to break ground on our new house out where my seed warehouse is come spring, probably in April. So you guys will get to follow that process throughout next summer and the next year, which I'm pretty excited about showing and doing, and the whole project. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be stressful, and we got a lot of things that are going to happen between now and then, but it's going to be a pretty cool deal. So I'm excited to bring that along to my channel. You know, it's something different that you'll be able to see, and you know, it'll be pretty cool. So hope you guys will enjoy that. We won't see much of it until we get closer to spring when they break ground and stuff. And I've already been informed that I'm not allowed to take any video or pictures of any of the people working on the house, subcontractors and stuff, which is fine. I understand that. So it'll be walkthroughs and stuff after they're done for the day and showing you progress as it happens. But so that's kind of my cool thing that we're going to be doing the next year, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. All right, where are we at? Light game. Your farming neighbors out there, are they running without lights? They're winning. Yeah, that's possible that they're just running without lights on and I can't see them, but I didn't see any of them when it was daylight either. We have a grain handler dryer also. How do you deal with the mess that it makes on the ground? Yeah, they're quite dirty, that grain handler. You guys will see that here in a week or so when we get up to Waldron and start drying. We're still searching for what the right answer is there. We have a lot of concrete poured around it, so mostly what happens now is we take a snow shovel and make piles, and then we have a manure spreader that we'll park there and just throw it all into that and then take it out in the field and spread it. I got that leaf blower this year. I think might help with some of that. And Dad's been talking about going and buying one of those like lawnmower leaf vacuum things, you know, like a pull-behind cart with a motor on it that's got a vacuum. I don't know. We might try that, but I don't know how well it would work. Once they get rained on, they're heavy. What combine did you run before this one? We ran actually we ran two combines before we bought the 680. We had a 9660 and a 9550 Walker machine. So those were our two combines. One, the 9550 was a 2002 model, I believe, and the 9660 was a 2007. When we decided to upgrade, we traded in two and bought one, and we felt like we were much, much more efficient running one big combine than two smaller ones. All right. I already said your name. You're out. I believe you said before that your wife works for a Ford dealer. Yes, she does. One purchase to consider should be a new Ford truck. I know, but I don't want to buy a Ford. My mom actually just bought a brand new car from her, and we are GM people, have been for quite a while. I don't really want a Ford. I might have to buy one. All right. Do you treat your seed before planting? Yes. Guys, I will get to your questions. You don't have to type them in twice. I'm just behind. What's the changes you said? Yep, we just talked about that. Tracks and rough ground do not mix. Cart isn't so bad. Oh, that's why it's rough. Yeah, maybe a little bit. The ground is pretty hard, although it's fairly soft still from the spring. It's just dry. We haven't had a pounding rain to make it too hard. I'm adding a few of you because. Thank you, guys. Case said they've never seen that happen before. Yeah, I'm sure they did. What do you... yeah, I got the moderator covered, I think. Thanks. What is tractor beeping about? That's my GPS. When I get close to the line but not right on it, it beeps to tell me I'm off of it. Yeah. Your uncle think he can get the F12 running? Yeah, we're going to get that F12 running. It might take some work. I don't know what all we got to do to it, but it will get running, and sooner than it's going to be, I think, or than I anticipated. So that is good. Watching from Sylvania. Yeah, you're super close. Well, no, we're in Berkey now, but where we were working yesterday was actually a Sylvania address. We were right outside the subdivision. You're going to get a 12-row head. We are probably not going to get a 12-row head simply because we can't keep the corn away from it. Most of the time we can't keep the corn away from an 8-row very well, much less a 12. So 8 just fits so much better, matches our 16-row corn planter. It'd be nice to have a 12-row, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon. Did you notice any difference on the land that you tiled this last year? That's corn right now. Yeah, that's corn. That's our irrigated cornfield. So can't say for sure yet. We haven't harvested it. I will say that the farm that we tiled 2 years ago was corn last year, and then beans this year was our best bean field. It was unbelievable how good those beans were. That was that field that went 74 bushels. So tile paid for itself there this year. Thanks, guys. Yep, caught up to the house comments. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. That's awesome. What model John Deere combine do you have? So our combine is a S680. It's 2014 model. Definitely stick around. Set a standard with several YouTubers that I have a video on every day. Congratulations on the new house. Thank you. That'll be fun. We'll watch on a 54-inch TV. Whoa. That makes my face really big. Glad because I make coffee with you every morning. Hope you don't change too much. I'm not going to change any. Things may slow down a little bit, but I've said this before and it hasn't. So we'll see once we get through harvest how things are going, and maybe I'll make a video every day, maybe I won't. But I said that last year and I did, so. Yeah, the dust on the combine, the feeder house, that always happens. Whenever you let it sit overnight or something, and the first time you start it up, it just spews out the dust. Congrats on one of your videos. Behind on the videos. Don't know how everyone keep. I have no idea how they keep up either, man. How's the bin sensor lights? We haven't used them yet, so those are in our grain system up to Waldron. We've got the separate system here at Berkey. So when we get back up there and start shelling corn, I will be sure and let you know. They're going to be awesome, though. How many generations have been farming in your family? Good question. So technically, I think I am the 4th generation. My great-grandfather bought the house just down the road from where we're at right now, and he sort of started in this operation. I guess maybe his dad farmed, but in a different area. My dad always told me that his family, when they came over here from Germany and France back in the, I want to say late 1800s, early 1900s, they bought the second 40 east of the Maumee River. Whatever that means. Second 40 east of the Maumee River. I'm pretty sure there's a interstate interchange on it right now. But that would have been kind of the start in our family history, at least in the United States. My Uncle Ron he's really big into genealogy stuff. He's got all this information somewhere. But basically, for my purposes, my great-grandfather farmed right in this area. My grandpa farmed here. He lived where our bin site is, and our home farm here. It's where my dad grew up. And then obviously my dad, he started the farm up to Waldron, kind of started it up from scratch there on his own. Obviously my grandpa farmed, but it was a whole separate operation. It'd be no different than me moving 30 miles away and trying to buy ground and start my own farm up somewhere else. So pretty impressive what he was able to do. And then obviously me, so I would consider myself 4th generation here. And then my boys, if I'm so fortunate that they want to farm when they get older, will be the 5th. Now that it's getting colder, what brand of boots do you use? Pigskin leather is the best something. Glove, right. I don't know that I've ever had any pigskin leather gloves. I really like the deerskin ones because they're softer than the cow leather, regular leather. As far as boots, my boots are Justin slip-on boots. I really like them. I used to always have lace-up boots, and they took forever to take on and off, so I got these slip-ons, and I've had a couple different types. And I like these ones. You can buy them at Rural King relatively cheaply. They hold up pretty well. The last pair lasted me over a year. If I can get a year out of a pair of boots, I'm pretty happy. Do you have any 4640 displays? We do not. We do not run any Gen 4 stuff yet. Someday, when we are fortunate enough to upgrade either a combine or a tractor, we'll run that. But I don't see the benefit to switching to a 4640 display over our 2630s, because I don't have anything that has to have it to run like a brand new planter, and it just complicates things and having a whole different system to learn. So once we have it in a tractor or combine and have to learn it, then maybe we can upgrade some stuff. But the 2630s work really well for us right now, so I'm going to stick with that. Stay out of Dad's way here. Alright. Weird. My scale is supposed to keep track of how much is on each truck. It's off. It says it only needs 3,000 pounds, but it's not even half full, so. What are the corn yields? I haven't asked Dad what this field is, but our corn yields are pretty crappy. The field we were in yesterday went about 140. And that one over there that we finished today was like 130. We just didn't get enough rain. It's not good. So I will say though that when we switched varieties in that field over there, the yield jumped by 30 or 40 bushel. So there's clearly a varietal difference. the stuff that it was better was 106 day, the same stuff that we're in now. So maybe it's better. I'm hoping it's 150 bushel corn, but I don't think it is based on what I'm getting from around in the grain cart. So, yeah, no good. Zach doesn't seem overly impressed with that X9. Zach is impressed with that X9. Zach catches too much flack for being a John Deere shill, which I'm not saying he is at all. But so he's trying to be unbiased. He's finding every negative thing he can to say about it so that people don't think that he's just saying whatever he can nice about John Deere. You guys gave him a hard time because Mike Mitchell didn't get his X9 demo that he was promised because you guys all thought that he would be too hard on John Deere. So I'm sure Zach is impressed with that combine. There's no way to not be, I don't think. But that doesn't mean there's not things that can be improved. Alright, do we need this light? Does this help? Better or worse? Awesome videos. I know it's a lot of work to get the videos done, especially during harvest. Red Fridays, love it. Good. Yeah, you know, it is, but it's really not terrible for me because the thing that makes this work is that I take all the videos on my phone with the exception of a little bit of GoPro footage every now and then. I edit it on my phone and I upload it from my phone. And so usually what happens is, especially when we're not, you know, working late like this, but I'll go home at night, hang out with my family and my kids, put the kids to bed, my wife goes to bed, and then I sit there and edit my YouTube videos, upload it before I go to bed, schedule it to post in the morning. It works really well. Now, when we're working later and stuff, and I don't get done until 10 or 11, usually the last hour I have to try and get what I can done so that I don't have to stay up so late at night after that. But anyway, as a fellow Dr. Pepper lover, do you have a favorite adult beverage that you like mixing with it? Oh, dude, SoCo is my favorite. I don't drink very often. I don't drink hard liquor very often, especially, but I am a big fan of SoCo and Co. Yep, you got me there. Many combines have compressors built in to blow the machine out off. Ours does not, but I know that was an option from John Deere here a few years ago, so they might. Now, I don't know about the X9 or anything. I haven't heard much about it, so I think that was probably not a very popular option. Any ideas on new technology you would like to see that may not have been invented yet? Well, I wouldn't share that with you, otherwise I won't get credit for it. Are you interested in new technology that's out there? That's hard to say. I don't know. I've heard of a lot of things. I did a survey for somebody a year or two ago where they were asking about new potential technology and stuff, and it was just unbelievable the things they were asking me about. Like, I don't even know how it would be possible to do some of these things. Like yield maps that were for partial header widths, like it would be able to differentiate one side of the head to the other. How would you even do that? I have no idea. So a lot of really cool stuff. There's a lot coming with automation and having autonomous vehicles. I think we're just a mere years away from that. So I wouldn't say it's not invented yet, but they're still perfecting it. That's going to be pretty cool stuff to see when it gets here. What's the most bushels an hour out of corn you have seen on the S680? You know, that's a good question. Our combine does not have a bushels per hour readout like that X9 does that Zach's running. It shows me the average over the field, but it doesn't show me an instant. And so I can't really answer that very well. It's more theoretical. What's your speed times your width times your yield, and you can figure it out. But we are not pushing 6,000 bushels an hour. I'd be surprised if we're pushing more than 3,000 to 3,000, 3,500 maybe. I don't know. That probably seems like a lot, actually. Any down corn? Yeah, it's bad. This corn is down really bad, and I'm quite disgusted by it, but there isn't nothing I can do about it. Dry weather will do that. When we have the dry weather that we had here this summer, the plants kind of cannibalize themselves and start eating the stalk away to produce the ear, and then when you get a windstorm, it goes down. And we had more wind last night. I'm sure it's worse today than it was yesterday. A couple winter jobs will be fixing lights on a utility tractor and steering on older Deere. Yes, The lights on the 7520, for sure, that's a winter project. That tractor will get brought through the shop at some point, probably closer to spring, but it will. And then the steering on the 4020, that needs to get done. I don't know if it's something I can tackle. Unfortunately, the 4020 isn't used enough for it to be a primary project in the winter. But if we have time, which it looks like I will this year, we'll get it into the shop and try and tear that steering motor apart that I think is the problem. Either send it out to get rebuilt or try and figure out how to do it myself. But yeah, those are definitely on the list. But we've got to go through the combine. We've got to go through the corn head. We've got to go through all the main tractors. You know, this tractor, the 9R, the 8430. Make sure that they're maintained. Change the engine oils. Change hydraulic oils if it needs it. And clean them up really good so that they're ready to go in the spring. We can't afford downtime and breakdowns in season. Unfortunately, we're starting to get more of that, you know, like with that bearing on the combine. Things wear out when they get older, but as much of that as I can do preventative, I'm going to do. When you get done with corn, you need to take a break for a few days from the video, spend time with your family, catch back. Yeah, that's always a good thing to do. I don't work weekends when we're not in the fields and super busy, so that'll be my time to catch up with them. You know, if we get an opportunity to take a few days somewhere, we might do that. My wife and I have been maybe throwing around an anniversary trip sometime here, so, well, I know when it'll be, but we just haven't nailed anything down yet. With doing this house project, we're trying to be pretty conservative and save up our money so that we can buy things like furniture and all the stuff that we're going to need to go in it that's not really included in the house price. So, you know, just, it doesn't mean we can't do things and spend some time together, little trips here and there, but we aren't planning anything too major. Well, we kind of are next summer, but fine without. I'll assume you're talking about the light, so I'm going to turn that back off. It's bothering me anyway. Speaking of Mike, did you see his combine fire? I've heard about it. I did not see it. I haven't watched that video. Seems less impressed with the Lexion last year than the X9 this year. Yeah, I know he said something about not being real impressed with that Lexion that he had, which surprises me. I've always heard really good things about those Lexion combines. I think an air bar is needed on a draper. Needed? No. Beneficial? Yes. I think it would be beneficial. I kind of would like to try one. It's sort of a hard thing to try, but we'll talk about that. That's something that we're going to talk about for future, whether it's on the head that we have or if we traded heads. I would like to think about it. Although I said something to Dad about it, he kind of dismissed the idea, like, we don't need that. So, I don't know. We'll see. Love watching the videos. Started watching before harvest. Excited to see you grow into a large channel. Thank you. Glad to have you. Claire. Yeah, sorry for the light. I got it better now. Hello from Chicago. Ron Baker. We're working on Chalmers, Ron, north of the woods. We got south of the woods done earlier today. That's my uncle. To be honest, I'm not a big drinker. Just a bunch of things wrong. Yep, that's true. You like the Brent grain cart? I love this grain cart. This grain cart is so cool. It's awesome. It's fantastic. So yes, I am a big fan of the Brent grain cart. Now, ours is a fraction of the size of Larson's, but I don't know why you would need to haul 2,500 bushels around in your field packing the heck out of everything. So this grain cart works so good for us. And if you guys had seen what I had before this, you would understand the upgrade that we've got here. It's awesome. It's truly awesome. It's big enough to hold an entire semi-load when we need that capability. It's on tracks, which limits our compaction. Probably not a huge deal this year with as dry as it is, but last year we were super wet, and this grain cart made a huge difference in the amount of compaction that we were causing. So, yep, I love it. It unloads fast. It's very well built, solid. This is a great grain cart. What's the moisture running? Good question. Hey Dad, how's the moisture on this corn here?
Says it's averaging 16 and a half.
16 and a half.
It's 18.
Alright, well it did pick up a little bit from that 100-day stuff then, but that's still pretty dry.
Back down to 15 now.
And is the yield any better than the other field was?
That was 143.
Oh, that's better. 143. That's better than 130. And yes, there's down corn. Alright. Most of our corn's been really dry, Ron. Phil just started the dryer up today. The rest of it, the other two fields, we pretty much either hauled it straight in or put it right in the bin, which we have never done before. What do I got here? 13,000. I don't think that's enough to fill this truck, but we'll put it in there anyway. Phil's back with another truck, so I'm trying to get one full for him to leave. Grain cart is, it takes a special person to be a good grain cart driver. I try and do a good job. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but sometimes it's fast paced and you gotta go, and then you'll sit and wait for 10 minutes. So it just depends on the field and where you're at, how far you gotta go to the trucks. This is nice because we got trucks right here. It's close. Let's see. Oh, is the president on? Sorry. He's on every night, though. Oh, I guess I got enough. Didn't need much. Okay. You gonna keep coming back the same side you have been, or are you gonna turn around and come back where you're at?
Stay on where I was at. Stay on the east side there.
Alright, let me hold this again. How's your family been during harvest? The family is good. They're missing me. I got a video call from my wife yesterday with Rylan was crying because he wanted me to come home, and that breaks your heart, and I felt really bad, but it's part of the deal, and I get it. It's really hard when we're down here to Berkey because I can't get home in time for them. When we're at Waldron, sometimes I'm late, but I can still see them some, and a lot of times they can come and see me and come ride with me and stuff. Here, where we're 35, 40 miles away, that's just not feasible, so I'm hoping to finish this stuff up tomorrow, possibly Thursday, and be back home so we're at least closer and I can see them a little bit more. 2630 can get you bushels per hour. Yeah, but it's the average bushels per hour, not instant bushels per hour. At least where I've found it. I don't know, maybe it's in there somewhere. Show us your snacks. Dude, I don't have any snacks. I'm completely out. I need to make a run to the grocery store or Dollar General or something because I'm out. Yeah, and I'm getting pretty hungry right now. We had a good lunch. Like I said earlier, we had some guys buy us lunch today. Sorry, trying to get my phone remounted. There. So that's good. And there's leftovers back in the grain shed at the farm over there, but I can't get there right now. Dicamba or Ingenia soybeans for you guys next year. Well, Dicamba and Ingenia are both the same thing. You might extend or enlist. I'm pretty sure we're going to go all enlist beans next year, which is a change. We're all extend this year. So the only thing that makes me question that is that we had really, really good beans, and I hate to not plant those varieties again. So I'm second guessing it just a little bit, but from a weed control standpoint, we need to go to enlist. Autonomous farm machinery sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen. How many idiots do not know how to drive around farm equipment? Well, I'm not sure that the autonomous equipment will be autonomous on the road, but in the field, I can see that. Go by semi-loads. Each semi is 1,000. So how many semis per hour is your? Yeah, that's true. I haven't timed it to figure out how many semis we're putting out in an hour though. 4020 requires special tools to adjust the steering. Good to know. I'm probably going to take the thing apart and send it out. But I've also heard that it's just some O-rings and seals somewhere, so I can change O-rings. I don't know. What do you think is the next big purchase for the farm? We're still working on that. I don't know exactly what equipment purchase will be. Probably looking at that anhydrous bar, possibly an air seeder. I still like to do a seed tender. That's not really a big purchase, though. There's rumors about looking at a combine, but I think we're a year out from that yet. You like eating nuts as one of your snack items? I do. In fact, I bought a big 5-pound bag of peanuts, but we keep it in the grain shed, so I eat them when I'm there. Ivers Farms in Illinois have a Prairie wind system for sale. There you go. Is it a 40-footer? How long before you harvest that irrigated corn? That field's going to be a while. We aren't going to get to that irrigated corn for probably 2 or 3 weeks at least. I assume it's the wettest corn that we have, and we'll start with the drier stuff first. Northeast Ohio, you make awesome videos. Thank you. Air bar may also reduce the wrapping on the reel. Yeah, I had that thought that an air bar may reduce the wrapping because it'll blow the beans away from the reel so that they don't keep piling up and pushing it in. So that's a good thought. Didn't get the cap on tight. Alright. Been watching your videos almost since the beginning of last year. The best channel. Thank you. That's awesome. I really like hearing that. Thoughts on farm safety? Well, farm safety is important. A lot of farmers, myself included, are not always the best at taking good safety precautions and being the smartest with our decisions, as you guys saw when I put a ladder on top of my scaffolding. But it's calculated risk. We try not to do anything too stupid, and I don't know. I get it, but you do the best that you can while still getting things done. So I don't know. Mike Rowe has it right in my mind. Safety third, because if safety was first and you truly only cared about being safe, you wouldn't do anything. You'd stay in your house all day. So you got to be able to accomplish something too. What is the most expensive error, mistake, accident you've made on the farm? Oh, that's a good question. As far as direct accidents, I don't know. I mean, I spilled that seed this spring. That was a few $100s. That's not terribly expensive. I don't know if you count planting the wrong variety or varietal choice being in something. You know, like the other day we combined those beans and having a different variety cost us $7,500, but that wasn't really a mistake. It was just a wrong guess. As far as accident with equipment and stuff, I've had my fair share of screw-ups. None of them are coming to mind right now. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I might get back to you on it. What about a yield check on your March beans? Yeah, those March beans are gone. Sorry. I wish I could have done that. The problem was that it was just one 10-foot row. In order to do a really decent yield check, you'd have to have 3 rows and harvest the middle one because there's so much of an edge effect. You got to have the right spacing to them and stuff. So I thought about taking the time to hand harvest them, but that would take me forever. And trying to weigh them up and doing a yield check. I could have figured the numbers out, but what numbers to use is kind of the difficult thing. Obviously, you got the weight of the grain, but how wide of a row do I figure to get how many acres were there? I'm going to try and do it again next year. If I can't actually plant some, I'll do the same thing with a hand planted or maybe do a little bit bigger plot, but you're right. I need to take those to yield. Chance of snow this weekend? I don't think so. Maybe. I haven't seen a chance of snow, but it's getting close to that time. We're on a Gleaner S97 with the 12 row, demoed an S780 with the 12 row. But it was a lot to keep up with a 1,000 bushel cart. Yeah, I'm sure it is a lot to keep up with a 1,000 bushel cart with a 12 row head, pushing them kind of bushels. It's amazing how much corn we can harvest right now, or just the equipment that is out there that can do it. Yeah, my eye's getting all bloodshot. It's been bothering me all day. Yeah, I got into some dust this morning, I think. Question why you don't grow taters. Just wondering, I'm from northern Maine. Well, potatoes are a specialty crop that we've never done. And so, well, I shouldn't say never. My grandpa used to raise potatoes back in the, I don't know, 60s, 70s. But we're corn, soybeans. That's kind of what we're specialized at, and we don't do any specialty crops. We don't have the sandy soil that potatoes take either, or any irrigation. The guys that raise potatoes around us, they've got them under pivots on sand where they can just pour the water to them. So that'd be a big reason why. Enjoying the grain system tour. Good. Glad you guys enjoyed that. You run auto steer and the combine is unloading in the cart. Yes, auto steer in the combine and the grain cart. Just got on some. Who won the light game? I did, if that's what you're asking. Now you said you watched Larson's. Have you seen O'Neill farms? I have seen those. I don't know he's around our age. You two are a few years older than me. His channel is about the same size. Yeah, I've seen O'Neill farms. I've watched a couple of his videos. I don't know if it was just the ones that I watched or if they're all that way, but he's kind of. He doesn't get real excited, does he? I don't know. It's interesting to watch. But yeah, I have seen him. He does a good job. I voted today in Bryan. They're up to 1,400 for the county so far. Nice. That's good. I'm surprised. Did you watch the Sun Farms the giveaway tractor? I did not see that one. Oh, am I caught up? Am I caught up? Sweet. Are corn and soybeans the dominant crop grown in your area than other kinds of crops? Corn, soybeans, and wheat. We have a lot of wheat around here as well. Which YouTubers do you keep up with? Any personal favorites? Yeah, so I do watch a few. Like I said, I try and watch a few different ones all the time just to keep up with them. But the ones that I watch every video are Zach, Millennial Farmer, and Brian's farming videos. Zach was kind of the first one that I saw, and then I found Brian's farming videos. I actually like his better for whatever reason, but I do watch all of Zach's Millennial Farmer up there. So those guys do a great job. And like I said before, the more voices that we have in agriculture and showing what we do and promoting stuff, the better. And I think it's great. So, you know, there's a lot of other good ones out there. Some of them aren't my style. You know, Cole does a really good job. Cole the Corn Star. It's not my style. I can't watch his videos. But that's good. Variety is awesome. It's, you know, it's for as many people as there are like me that just don't care for it. There's just as many or more that do, and he's got a huge following. So, and I know Peterson Farm Brothers. They do a really good job, and they're making this style of videos now. But they did the parody things there for a long time and got a ton of views and people that are not part of agriculture to watch them. So that was awesome as well. And you know, there's a lot of different stuff out there. The whole idea is to promote ag, show our side of the story. Here, 8-10 years ago, I went to a lot of conferences, Farm Bureau or whatever it was, and they talked a lot about how we have to share our story. We have to promote ag, because if you don't tell your story, somebody else will, and you won't like how they tell it. And so this is the way that I found to do that. I had a Facebook page for a long time for our farm, and I tried to do it that way for a while and did pretty well, but it just never gained a lot of traction, and I kind of lost interest in that media, that platform. And so this has worked out really well for me. Have you named your combine? I have not. My combine does not have a name. Oh, sorry, I got behind you here. I missed a few. Keep us updated on that old farm-all. It would be cool once done. I'm certainly going to keep you updated. Hasn't seen much done to it here recently because we've been working down to Berkey, so Jack's down here helping us. He hasn't been up there working on that. What state is better to farmers, Michigan or Ohio? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know that there's a lot of difference. There's slight differences in the property tax amounts, but that varies by county some too. There's differences between them. Michigan has some different programs that Ohio doesn't. Ohio has had some more cost share type programs for conservation stuff. We are in the Lake Erie watershed, so Lake Erie's had its fair share of issues with algae blooms and stuff, and so there's been a lot of grants and government money thrown at our area to help with some of the fertilizer runoff stuff. So there's that side of it, but I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference one way or the other. Millennial Farmer seems to be enjoying that X9. He's had for the last couple of days. Big money for that beast. Yep. I would enjoy it too. Let's just say that. You named your combine. No, my combine does not have a name. What was the first piece of equipment you operated as a kid? I cut my teeth on a new 40-20 and 69 at 10 years old. Nice. So back when I was a kid, we had the 40-20, but we also had a 45-20. It was just slightly bigger, but same style of tractor. That one, the clutch was a lot easier to push in on. So that was actually the one that I sort of learned how to drive. But the first tractor that I ever drove by myself out in the field, I don't remember exactly how old I was, maybe 12, somewhere in there, was our John Deere 4955 running a field cultivator and a packer. And I had run it a lot of times with my dad or my uncle riding with me, my Uncle Dan. I very specifically remember the first time I ever got to drive it in the field with somebody riding with me. It was with my Uncle Dan. We were working on one of our farms, and I was just happy to be riding in the tractor. I loved riding in the equipment all the time. And he looked at me and said, well, you want to drive? I'm like, you're kidding me, right? But he let me drive. And for a long time, and I did really well for the first couple times, but then when I was making one of the turns one time, I didn't turn quick enough or something, and I kind of got into the trees just a little bit, and I stopped real quick. But I remember him being very, he wasn't upset. He didn't yell at me. He wasn't like, upset at all. He was just, hey, that happened. Stop, back up, fix it, and it was great. So I remember that to this day, and that was 20 plus years ago, 25 years ago. Yeah, almost, crazy. Wow, that's been a long time. What is your plan to build up the organic matter on the hills? Your computer showed that those spots as being lower yield. So if you're referring to the video just from a couple of days ago, the one with the big giant purple area in the field, that's not really an organic matter or a hill situation, because that field is flat as a pancake. But yeah, our hills, especially up to Waldron where it's more rolling, they're eroded. They're yellow clay. So building organic matter is a good thing if we can do that. How is the hard part. And so we try and leave the residue there as much as we can. We do some minimum tillage or a little bit of no-till. We don't no-till on our corn, but we do some beans and we do some wheat. And we've started doing more cover crops. I really like this oats and radish cover crop that we've got growing this year. And we've been doing the frost-seeded clover for a number of years, so all of that stuff helps. We've been putting chicken litter on some of our fields that helps. It brings some organic matter in. So there's a few things. We're probably not as aggressive with it as we could or should be, but we're trying. How about putting the wrong sprocket on the combine? Well, so that didn't really cost me anything, Michael. That sprocket was about $130. I've got one that's spare that I don't use, but as far as actual any damage or cost, there wasn't any. Time, but yeah, so that one wasn't really that big of a deal. Well, sir, we don't have sand. We have tons of rocks and ledge. Seems to love it. It would be nice to see a condensed video on that farm all when done. Yeah, it would be. That'll probably be. I've been taking pictures, so I might be able to do like a slideshow, but I haven't been saving video clips. The problem with doing that is that my phone only has so much storage on it. So after about a week or a week and a half of taking these videos, the clips, I have to go through and delete them in order to have storage space on my phone. Although I think they all get uploaded to my Google Photos, so I may be able to go back and save some of them, but it's too hard to sort through them and save the ones that I want to save and not save other ones. So they all just get deleted after a week or something like that. And the video's already on YouTube, so I don't need them anymore, is my thoughts. Relatively close to Sandusky then? Yeah, sort of. Relatively, I guess. We are just west of Toledo. Literally, all the restaurants and stuff on Central Avenue are 5 miles from here. When we first started farming down here more, my mom wanted to get us a microwave and pack us lunches and stuff, and we said, there's 40 places to eat within a 5-mile drive. We aren't taking food. 2510 picking rocks with my dad. Loved it. Nice. That's cool. Wood, has your dad ever partake in a live stream with you? He has not. Would he? Maybe. Probably a live stream would be difficult. I might get him to sit down sometime with me this winter and do a farm history lesson with you guys. I know Zach did that on one that I thought was really cool here a few years ago, so that was something that I've had in the back of my mind. He's coming around to the whole filming and YouTube stuff, and I think he's every now and then he'll come to me with an idea or something that we should film or make some comments about it. So I think I can get him on camera eventually. What do you think that Fen 10 combine with no steering wheel joystick? I did see that. That's interesting. I don't know. I can see it working, but I've never driven one, so it's hard to know. Do you have stalk stompers on the corn head? We do not. No stalk stompers. We do not run a chopping corn head, so our stubble is not quite as sharp and pointy as what some guys is with a chopping corn head. So we've never felt the need for stalk stompers, although in the row that goes between the duals, I think it would be a good idea because it is wearing on our rear tires on our combine. So something to think about. Probably should have something. I agree with you on coal. Yeah, I don't know. I know we've made some of those videos, but I haven't watched them as far as cost stuff. The seed this spring on the road. Yeah, that's the one that I said, spilling that seed this spring. That was a few $100 screw up there. How fast do you go with an 8-row on a Class 8 combine? We're running 5.5 miles an hour a lot of time in corn. We can move fast. I think the farm history would be awesome. Yeah. Have you seen any more bricks breaking the surface? Oh, out in the fields. Oh, yeah. Well, no, we haven't harvested that field yet, and it's corn, so it probably won't get chiseled this fall. So it'll be a while before we see any more bricks out there. If you guys missed that, one of my videos, I think it was this spring, we have a field where there used to actually be a brick factory. If that gives you any idea how the kind of dirt and clay that we farm. They used to physically mine the dirt to make bricks in our fields now. So, yeah. Would you ever use a Fendt? I wouldn't turn down a Fendt if I was presented with the opportunity to drive one. But as far as buying one goes, our local dealer that deals with that stuff would have to prove to me that they want to do business with us, because so far the interactions that I've had with them, they haven't really acted like they care who I am at all. Honest way to put it. When somebody comes into your dealership to buy something, even if it's something small, you should probably treat them with respect, like they might be somebody that could buy something from you, because when you don't, it doesn't make me want to do any more business with them. Now, that said, we are John Deere people. It would be hard to get us to buy something other than a John Deere piece of equipment. I'm not saying we wouldn't. I'm just saying that there's a reason that we buy John Deere equipment. We, as farmers in general, tend to be very brand loyal for whatever reason, and until we have an issue or some reason that we need to switch, it'd be really hard to get us to walk away from it. When I get caught up, the chat jumps on me and I lose my spot. We have an S670 on a 12-row corn head. Yeah, I know our combine is way overkill for 8-row corn head. We mostly bought the S680 for the 40-foot draper. I didn't know if a 670 would have quite enough horsepower for when we get some green, tough soybeans like we started with this year, and so we jumped to the S680, and we've been pretty happy with it. I know people will complain about fuel usage on it and stuff, but again, fuel is such a minor expense in the grand scheme of things. It's not a big concern of mine. So, anyway. Okay, now we need to go dump. I've been taking 2 rounds at a time and then going to the truck and dump just so I don't have to line up to it so much. It's usually about half a truckload on 2 rounds. So I can line up to the truck twice instead of 4 times. And I think Dad left me 4 rows there. Is it still a row of shame when it's 4 rows and not just one? Screws up my yield ramps, I didn't know that. Oh, no, I might be wrong. I might have more than 4 there. Okay. Let's see. This is the Cascadia resets. Go. Green all the way. Does Jack live at the farm in Bertie? No, Jack does not live there. I have a cousin that lives there. Jack lives in a town sort of between Berkey and our other farm. He's a retired roadway mechanic, so he's a pretty valuable asset to have around. What combine did we have before the 680? Yeah, so we had 2 John Deere combines before that. We actually had a 9660 and a 9550. And then we kind of made the decision to run 1 big combine instead of 2 smaller ones. And it's been a good decision. We're a lot more productive now. So we had, we would run both of them in beans, but we never ran 2 combines in corn anyway, or very rarely. So it just made sense to go to 1 big combine with the 40-foot bean head rather than what's going on here? I have no idea. Anyway, rather than buying another smaller one and only trading 1 of those combines in and trying to maintain 2 combines. So that's what we did. Alright, so you like paying for all upgrade every year? You mean from John Deere? Is that what you're saying? Because I like John Deere stuff? I don't have to pay to upgrade anything every year. If we're paying for upgrading something, it's because we're getting something new usually. I did have a little rant about some GPS stuff, but that's not an every year thing. That's a one-time thing, or whenever they decide we need to. What will be the square footage of your new house? Well, we're still working on that a little bit and finalizing the plans, but it's going to be big enough for a family of 4 that we currently are, and maybe a little extra room in case we do decide to have another baby at some point. It's possible. Could happen. Feel insignificant in any dealer I walk into because I'm a small farmer. Don't matter if it's my own. See, that's not right. You shouldn't feel that way. The next few months from now, what is the next big project besides the red tractor? Well, so once harvest is over, we'll finish up our tillage, and then after that, we'll start working in the shop, maintenance, getting the corn head. The corn head's probably going to be the first big maintenance project in the shop throughout the winter, and then going through the combine, just general changing oil and stuff. I don't think there's a whole lot of other stuff that we need to do, but we'll inspect it and look through everything really well and see, and then we'll get the tractors through. I don't really have any major projects or anything planned for this winter, so we'll see if something pops up. I'm gonna have to spend some time with house stuff though, as we're starting to work on that and getting towards the spring, and maybe some dirt work that needs to be done, and moving some stuff around. So I do want to, as soon as we get back up to Waldron and start shelling up there, I want to shell the corn where the house is going to be so that I can mow the residue down and get stuff cleaned up and start flagging and figuring out where everything's going to go. Jack Baker. I'm going to assume you're not my Uncle Jack, because I don't think he would know how to type comments into YouTube comments, but do you get to do any big lake fishing? I am not. I don't fish. I've never done it really as a kid, a few times, but my dad never did, and I don't hunt, and it's not my thing, so no. I was dealing with that kind of dealer service that you speak of the last couple of weeks from my local semi-dealer. Yeah. Cummins engine rep told me that he has been disgusted with dealer service. That sucks. How big of a field are you doing tonight? So the field we're in right now is about 60 acres. The one right across the lane that we were in before this one was like 65 acres. We've got one right across the road that's 15, and then there's another one across the other road that's 67. So they're all real close right here. They're kind of broken up a little bit, but it's really like one big field. Would you like to demo an RT? I would love to demo an RT. When we decide to upgrade tractors, I'm really hoping that we'll look at tracks. And an 8RX would be super awesome, but probably pretty unrealistic. So I'm thinking something like a 8345 RT or something will probably be in the range of what we're looking for. Well, I think Fent does listen well, and they'll listen to Michael. Yeah, I'm not saying Fent and the dealers don't listen and stuff. I'm sure that they do. I just know that the local dealer, when I had to buy some stuff, they didn't treat me well. It sticks with me. I need a job running grain cart when I retire. Yeah, it's not a bad gig. You see Great Farms video? I have not seen his video, but I heard about his accident. I'm surprised Deere hasn't made a 7RT with them having 350 engines. I know. That 7R series is just enormous now. In fact, I should have filmed it. I didn't even think about it. So there's okay, see those orange lights right there? That's the John Deere dealer here in Berkey. And when I was there getting parts for a combine Monday morning, they've got one of the new 7R tractors, like the new styled 7R tractors. So I was in a hurry, I didn't stop and look at it, but I should stop over there and take a look at that thing. How's the bin indicators working? Have not used them yet. We're shelling corn at our farm in Berkey, not Waldron, so when we get back up there next week, I'll let you know. Ever fish the St. Joe? Nope. No, haven't. I don't fish. Felt the same way you do, and you said, why would we want to spend money here? Yeah. No, I'm in West Virginia. Yeah, that's what I figured, Jack. Good evening. Got some more people joining, I see. I'm an hour and a half into this. I was getting ready to end it, but I have no reason to, so I guess we can keep going. Other than that, I'm not filming stuff for tomorrow. Oh well. Does your farm corporation have any other investments other than cash crop operations? Does the farm corporation? No, the farm does not. It is simply an operating entity for our farming practice, business, whatever you want to call it. A little bit of land, but very little in the corporation. Is the farm as big as you want to be right now, or do you hope to still expand? That's a good question. I will never turn down land if somebody comes to me, but I am not out actively seeking to rent more stuff. We are not, have not, will not ever be the type of farm that's going to go knocking on doors of landlords or sending out letters trying to steal farms away from other farmers. I hate that people do that, and I will not participate in it. We've always gotten land by our reputation. People respect us in our area as good farmers, and we've had numerous people tell us that when they retire, they want to rent our farm because they like the way we do it. That's awesome. That's the right way to do it. I will talk to any landlord that comes to us. You know, if somebody's not happy with the farmer that they have doing something and they come to us, yeah, we'll talk. But I have no interest in going and renting farms away from somebody else. None at all. So that's not something that we're going to do. But like I said, if somebody comes to us and wants to sell us something, or maybe not sell us, but rent us something, we'll talk about it and expand. Now that said, you kind of always have this mentality of, I'd like to do more and be bigger, but look at the situation that I am in, long term here. Right now, it is me, my dad, who is 64 years old, my uncle, who's in his late 50s, And that's it. I don't have any cousins. I don't have any brothers that are interested in farming. And so, just from a logistics and management and labor standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us. To keep trying to expand and get bigger over the next few years. We're good with what we've got, and that doesn't mean you don't want to do more, but I don't need to do more. Let's do a better job on the acres that we have instead of trying to do more acres just to do more acres. One thing that I've noticed, and this is a little bit different topic, but kind of related, pretty much any farms that you look at, and maybe it's different in other areas of the country, but around here anyways, the number of people that they have working on their farm is tied pretty closely to the number of acres, which makes sense, right? But it's generally somewhere around 1,000 acres per person is what it takes to run a full-time successful farm. If you're not at 1,000 acres per person, you have to be super vigilant and conservative, or you got to be really good with your numbers to make enough money to support that and not waste money, or have some off-farm income, which I have that too, right? My seed business. But in order to really make a decent living and do well, about 1,000 acres per person, and we're a little over 3,000 acres, and we've got 3 full-time employees, myself, my dad, and my uncle. So that works, it makes sense, and it seems to be a pretty common figure around here, at least. Pull this back down. Them suckers got BMW seats in them, so yeah. The 7R tractors and their BMW seats. Cream tractor, but I have nowhere near enough acres for it. Yeah, so I've heard that a few years ago, probably close to 10 years ago now, John Deere had some engineers or high-level employees that came over from BMW, and they brought a lot of their design stuff with them. And so the John Deere has been designing or kind of working in some of that BMW styling into their tractor cabs. And they're nice, and they do have some really nice features and stuff. But let's be honest, how many hours do we spend in these cabs a year? And per day, you know, when, especially in the spring when I'm planting corn, I'm spending 15 hours a day in a cab. Like, I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be nice. So I understand it, and they sell equipment because of it. All right, let's sit here for a while. What happened to the eye, Corona? Yeah. Now, I don't know what's going on. I got some dust in it. I've probably been wearing this pair of contacts for too long. It'll be fine. Is this live? If I say hello and tell everybody to subscribe on YouTube? Yeah, it is live. Whether you can get anybody to subscribe to your channel or not, I don't know. Good luck. You ever thought about doing a plow day? Not really. Once I get my Farmall, my F12 running, if I can find a one-bottom plow for it, I might take it to a plow day, but not going to host one. I noticed you added to the intro song. Sounds perfect. I did that like 5 months ago, but thank you. Yes, I do like it. Corn moisture, is it 13 to 16? It's running about 16 and a half right now, I think. Oh, it's 13 to 16 in North Central Iowa. Good YouTube channel. Thank you. Yeah. This is 106-day corn running about 16 and a half. It picked up about a point from what our 100-day corn was, which that's nothing. It's still dry. It's still good. If you ever want to do anything other than farm, if you had to do something other than farm, what it would be? So before I farmed full-time, I was a sales rep for a seed company for Golden Harvest. I didn't mind doing that. If I didn't farm, I would probably look for a job doing something similar or working for another farm, let's be honest, because that's what I'm good at. But as far as do I want to do anything else, not really. I mean, I really like doing this. There's a reason that I do it. It always baffles me when I hear or you see the stereotype of people coming home from their 9-to-5 job and they're just miserable and they hate it. Like, don't do it. Why would you do a job that you hate? I don't understand. And I get that my situation is very different than most people's, so maybe it's not that easy. But I couldn't imagine going to work hating my job every day. That's why I do this, because I love it. When are you going to clean up the bean planter? Yeah, you have been watching every video if you know I haven't cleaned up the bean planter yet. Definitely should be done. I'm slightly protesting that Phil hasn't done it because he's the one that drives it, and I feel like he should have to clean it up, and I haven't really had time. Most likely what's going to happen now is we're going to get it out sometime this winter and go through it. But I know I should do it, and I should have done it, but it just never got done. I ran out of time. That irrigation killed me this summer. I was doing that so much that I didn't have time to get the stuff done that I needed to, so it is what it is. You need a Mahindra like Brian. You think a Roxor? I don't know. I like the Gator pretty good. Here in Illinois, if people farm less than 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 acres, they either have a full-time job or they use their semis for trucking work off-season. Yeah, that's pretty much standard practice most places. Here in South Georgia, a farmer can grow a lot of produce, and the farmer works for hundreds of workers just because of a lot of the crop. Well, that's a whole different thing. If you're talking specialty crops, produce, especially hand-picked stuff, yeah, you're obviously not 1,000 acres per there, but I'm talking, row crops, corn, soybeans, wheat. And I'm sure out west in Montana and some of that stuff that like Welkers are doing is a whole different ballgame too, where they're running a lot more than 1,000 acres per person because it's broad acre farming. No choice but to do frowned upon stealing land in order to get any land at all. Yeah, I get that. I know that there are small guys and they don't have a choice but to go out and try and steal land from stuff, and I guess that's a fortunate thing for us that we're in that situation where we don't have to. We've got an established base and a good reputation that helps. I will say that it has changed the last 4 or 5 years, though. People don't come to us as much as they used to. It's really competitive. It is very difficult to get land. Cabs are underrated in construction as well. Yeah. Yeah. Referred to other jobs that you had. Yeah, thanks, Brock. I did have a job as a basketball coach. Best paying job I've ever had, right, Brock? Brock was one of my basketball players here a long time ago. I coached 7th grade junior high boys basketball in the local town that I live in for 3 years, and then I coached junior varsity at the school where I went to school for 1 year after that. So I spent 4 years as a basketball coach. I really did enjoy it. Some of the teams that I had were great as far as we had fun and personality, and they were fun. Some of the teams that I had were not so great. My first year coaching, the team that I had 5 players on it. Only one of them had ever played before. I didn't have to worry about parents complaining their kids weren't playing enough. Let's put it that way. They were not good. We lost pretty much every game, if not every game that year. But we had fun. I had more fun coaching that year than any other one. And then, dealing with parents is no fun. Anyway, I make enough to support myself off my 1 acre of hand-picked veggies. I don't need a part-time job, and I wouldn't trade it all my part-time. Yeah, well, that's a whole different ballgame. Veggies. Ever thought about growing hemp? I have not. The hemp thing was really big here a year or 2 ago. I haven't seen much about it lately, but I think we kind of saturated the market real fast. How many acres left in the field that you're in? I don't know. Dad's in the combine, and unless I ask him, I can't see how many acres he's gotten done or how many are left. So we got to be getting close to. What time is it? Well, we got to be getting 20 or 30 acres of it done. So probably not quite half yet. Since you're done with beans, do you have any fungicide test strips? And did you see noticeable results with the smaller rain totals this year? I did leave some test strips in some fields. I did some side-by-sides. I need to sit down at the computer and really analyze that. I have not taken the time to do it. Nothing jumped out at me on the yield maps in the combine. But with beans, you're talking about 2, 3, 4 bushel differences, making a huge difference in your income, and that doesn't always show up in a yield map that's got 5 or 10 bushel yield increments. And so I need to sit down, highlight areas of the field, and really analyze it to see what kind of differences were there. But as good as our beans were, it's really hard for me to believe that it did not make a difference. Best Coach Award. Thanks, Brock. Ever meet a real interesting celebrity, notable person? I don't know. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, you want to know something interesting about me? So before this YouTube thing, I had 15 minutes of fame once. I was actually in a music video. Yep, I was in a music video. Pretty cool, actually. So here, let's see. Gosh, this has been a long time ago now. It would have been in 2008. There was a country band called the Lost Trailers. And they got fairly popular, but were never huge. But they had a song called Holler Back. And if you go and find the music video for this, which may be very difficult to do at this point, but I am in it. A minute and 10 seconds into the video, there's a clip of me in a green John Deere shirt doing something like this. It lasts for about a half a second, but I'm there. And it was pretty cool. So that's my 15-minute claim to fame. But I don't know that I've ever actually met anybody super famous before. I feel like I did at one point, but I don't remember who now. Yeah, anyway. Oh, I shook Tom Izzo's hand once. Does that count? That was cool. That's awesome, coaching kids. Yeah, I really enjoyed coaching basketball. Something that I wish I had time to do more, and I could have kept doing it. But it's difficult to do with as much as we're farming, and the basketball season kind of sort of overlaps harvest, depending on the year. This year it probably would work out all right, but basketball always started up the first or second week in November, and we're usually not done harvesting by then. So I was leaving for 2 or 3 hours during the middle of the day to go and coach basketball. I enjoyed it, but it got to be too much. Someday when my kids are older and playing, I might get back into it. We'll see. All right, guys, we are getting sort of long here. I'm probably going to wrap this up within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Are you watching that bearing? I mean, kind of. I looked at it, but it's all good. I put new ones in there, so we shouldn't have any trouble with it. My family raised chickens for meat, eggs when I was a kid, lots of work. Yeah, chickens are not my thing. Does anyone around grow sugar beets? Not anymore. Seen a lot of equipment heading north on M52. Really? Sugar beet equipment? Huh. No, there's not any sugar beets around here that I am aware of. There used to be a lot of them. In fact, my grandpa used to raise sugar beets back when the Pioneer Sugar Facility down in Findlay, Ohio, processed sugar beets. They raised them for them. But that's been 40 years ago now, I imagine. So. Alright, Phil's back again, so we should get this truck full. What do we got? Got 26,000 on, we need 25,000 in the truck. Yep, that'll do it. Almost 9 o'clock. Alright. I wonder how late everybody wants to work tonight. Oh, sorry, hold on, I'll fix that in a minute. Here. Oh, you can look at a corner post. How fun for you. Loading trucks. Whoa, whoa, pull ahead. This adjustable spout on this auger grain cart is super nice. And gonna get a little full. Ah, we're good. All right. I'm gonna put the rest of it in this truck just because I'm not sure I got my auger completely cleaned out and it's not quite empty. I thought it would all fit on there and it didn't, so it was a little. I had to shut her down in a hurry. Stuff must not be as good at test weight. Not into having to fill the trucks up fuller and not getting as much weight on them. But that other stuff we were in was really good test weight, like 58, 59 pound test weight, which is crazy good. Corn is standard at 56. And we're usually happy if it's above 54, so. Alright. Flip it back over, spin the camera around. Get it mounted back up there and point in the right direction. Nope, that didn't do it. This won't mount. I got a better one. I gotta find it. There. Alright. Well, gonna have to hold it again because it's rough. Have you heard of the movers and shuckers? I feel like I have. They're in Frederickstown, Ohio. They started out bidding everybody. They lasted 3 years. Yeah, that tends to be what happens. People get really big, really fast because they bid more for land rent, and then they go out of business shortly. There's been a few of those in our area. What was the name of the countryman? The Lost Trailers. Gotta go. Great job again. Thanks for tagging around, Michael. Don't forget to hit the like button, tell your friends to subscribe. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Hi from CO. I miss farming. Don't end. Sorry, guys. This was getting long. Do you run a chopping head? We do not run a chopping head. It's just I run the 360 chain rolls on it, so they do a pretty good job. Where are my hands? I gotta pay more attention to what I'm doing. I think I'll be. Try and figure out where I turn most of the time so we start dumping in about the same place. This is it. Okay. Now I can put this back up here. There. Have a great night. Lost trailers, yep, we need to go on. Hollerback. H-O-L-L-E-R. Back. I think chickens are like. Do you play basketball in school? Yes, I played basketball in high school. I was sort of, kind of good sometimes. You found the music video? Nice job. Nice. Got a half-inch of rain yesterday. Started back in the bees late this afternoon. No. We had a good sunny day. It dried out quick today. 153 likes for 86 people is really not that bad. The thing is, there's probably been 1,000 different people through this live stream since I started it. Happy 1 year. Thank you. Found album on YouTube. Nice. How much horsepower do you have to handle that grain cart? This tractor is 335 horse. It handles it just fine. It is a load when it's full, but never been an issue. My John Deere right now running a disc. Keep hearing your GPS. Yeah, that'll do that to you. Found it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. I might try and keep doing about one of these a week as we go through harvest here. And I like doing them. So thanks for tagging along. Thanks for all the questions. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look for tomorrow's video, and we'll keep making them. Have a great night, everybody.